Hello, I'm Zash, and welcome to episode 16 of my G-Senjou no Maou, or The Devil on G-String, Let's Read. Joining me, as always, is my co-reader Faith. Things are going according to plan for Kyosuke. The ransom was paid off, the Miyawas aren't going to be able to repay the loan, and they're going to lose their land. All good things for Kyosuke. Or Maou. But now Kyosuke has a new mission: to find the identity of Maou, which may be a bad thing for him because it's kind of looking like he is Maou. Anyway, to further this goal, he met up with Usami, and they had a little discussion where he didn't learn all that much. Also, we found out that Tsubaki is having meetings with the kidnapper. Please enjoy this episode. I came to school again today. Morning, everyone. My classmates replied cheerfully to my greeting.
Good morning, Miss Aslan.
Hey, can't you do something about your hair? Every single morning, I come in and you spoil my good mood.
What about you? It doesn't look like you slept much last night.
Really? Well, I didn't.
You were with me till late last night.
Context. Jeez. I returned to my seat. I haven't called Miki-chan in quite a while, so I guess I'll do it now.
Looks like Shiratori-san's not here yet.
Apparently not. She's absent all the time.
Is there some sort of reason for that?
Might be related to the stock crash.
Usami nodded in agreement. Oh, it's Tsubaki.
Tsubaki was already at her seat before we even realized she came in. Don't see that every day. Tsubaki always jumps in and greets everyone energetically. Oh, her brother's missing.
Yeah.
Tsubaki?
Ellipses.
She panicked when addressed. Is something wrong?
Azai-kun. Good morning. Hiroaki-kun must still be... yeah.
So, the kidnapper still has the hostage. It'll be a hassle if the police have to get involved. Tsubaki sank her teeth into her lips.
Haru-chan. What? May I ask you about something?
She asked apprehensively. Usami and I frowned at seeing Tsubaki like this.
Why do you want to catch the kidnapper?
Usami replied, unshaken.
If we catch the kidnapper, we won't have to pay a ransom, yet Hiroaki-kun will still return safe and sound. I see. You've been through so much already. Why ask now?
Tsubaki couldn't answer Usami's question and looked away.
Is that all? Pardon? Is that really the only reason?
She was acting a bit strange.
You said the kidnapper was Maou, right? Right. Do you know him? Oopsies. You want to catch the kidnapper, but not just for the sake of my family, isn't that right?
I couldn't help but think that something about Tsubaki was different today. This might be the first time I've ever seen Tsubaki suspect someone.
Sure, I'd jump at any chance to capture Maou. Right. I also hold a personal grudge against Maou. Oopsies. Is there something wrong with that?
Usami turned her face away after confessing, as if she was hurt deeply.
Sorry. That was a pretty weird question. No. You're only trying to help us catch a kidnapper out of the goodness of your own heart, Haru-chan. I wasn't much help, though. Ellipses.
Things keep getting stranger and stranger. Normally, Tsubaki would have been comforting Usami right now.
May I ask one more question? Go ahead. You once said that Hiroaki wouldn't be released even if we handed over the money, right? Mm-hmm. I've said that many times. The kidnapper isn't going to let him go, whether we give him the money or not.
In fact, Hiroaki-kun was still trapped somewhere.
Is that really true? Ellipses. The kidnapper's really afraid of the police. Seems as much. If Hiroaki really doesn't return, we will call the police for help. Ellipses. The kidnapper must have predicted this too, so wouldn't that mean he intends to return Hiroaki to us?
Tsubaki was right. If the kidnapper really fears law enforcement, then he must free the hostage. He would be in deep trouble if he killed the hostage.
I'm not the kidnapper, so I don't know what he's thinking. But the fact that he fears the police means that he's unlikely to let him go. This is what the kidnapper thinks. If the hostage returned, Tsubaki's family would call the police to get the ransom back.
This theory was pretty feasible. If the hostage was freed, then there would be nothing for Tsubaki to worry about when calling the police. The ransom came at the expense of the land they'd been protecting up until now. Tsubaki's dad wouldn't want to let go of it, so it's possible that the kidnapper has already factored this into his plans.
Anyway, that's just my theory. The truth has yet to be revealed. Yes.
Tsubaki emitted a long sigh afterwards.
Sorry, Haru-chan.
She cried with all her voice.
I'm really sorry for interrogating you.
It was as if a demon within her vanished. What's gotten into you?
Nothing. I'm fine. You look exhausted.
Tsubaki recovered her cheerful smile.
Did something happen? I troubled Haru-chan right from the get-go today. Period. Wait a second. Back up to before the period.
After that, our regular day began. Hey, Kyosuke, get this! In all my years, I've never heard about this! Everyone gathered on the rooftop during lunch break, as always. Petting apparently means something sexual.
Oh. Poor child.
It does?
Heavy petting, yeah.
Okay. So not when I went pat to,
No.
Okay. Just checking. Because I don't want to accidental innuendo. Innocentendo? Yeah. And here I was thinking you might say something interesting. Scared me half to death. Always thought it was a fancy word for when those families in the Senjou area take their dogs out for a walk along the banks. Good for you. Tsubaki arrived at the rooftop as we continued our minious conversation. Tsubaki-chan, are you alright?
With respect to what?
That your brother. Tsubaki paled. Don't worry, he's just gotta be alive. Iichi didn't even understand the reason behind the heart-stopping atmosphere.
Thank you. I hope this isn't worrying you too much.
Iichi? Worry? No problem. I just want you to know that my thoughts are with him. He had a triumphant look on his face. His denseness is almost endearing, in a way. Tsubaki? Can I come to your house to hang out tonight? Tsubaki's eyes shot open, and she froze for a second.
When tonight?
I won't stay late.
Sure. In that case, it's fine.
Are you busy?
No. But why do you ask?
Seems like my visit isn't welcomed. There's something I need to discuss with your father. About returning the loan. And also, I'm worried about you. Aichi spat.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
If you say so.
You're so considerate, Asakun.
She smiled. A weak smile, bathed in darkness.
Can I come too? Haru-chan too?
Usami showed up out of thin air and asked for Tsubaki's permission. Why do you have to come?
No reason. I just felt like I could be of assistance.
Quit speaking Martian.
Don't be surprised, but I'm actually very good at chores.
You're full of it. It's quite obvious that you fail at life.
And I've got talent.
I call bullshit. Usami-san, what talent do you have?
Oopsies.
She blushed and looked down.
Come to think of it, you said that when you first arrived.
I thought it was a joke. Same.
As scary as it may sound, it's no joke.
Anyway, Tsubaki doesn't need you to perform for her right now.
Oh, alright, maybe next time.
It's probably a bluff anyway. Ellipses. Even so, I do need to get some information on Usami. I need to find out her relation to Maou. I had wanted to delay this, but... You have so much free time, Usami. I said this in a playful tone.
I don't have free time, none at all.
Then what do you do at night?
I go to public bathhouses, because I like taking baths. And it takes quite a while to wash my hair.
Cut it then.
So, is Haru-chan coming to my house? I might be a little late.
Her face froze as if something nagged her in the back of her mind.
I'm really sorry, but can you guys leave before 11?
Oh, you really had plans?
Yeah. What could you possibly be doing so late? Online games.
She's a raider. Games? Why so late? Can't you play them at any time?
Well, not when y'all are there.
I bet I know. Did you arrange a meeting time with your online friends beforehand?
Yeah. We're gonna go kill the evil boss together.
She's raiding!
Yeah!
If she wasn't lying through her teeth.
Yeah.
Ellipses.
Ellipses.
Usami and I exchanged glances. She must be thinking the same thing as I. Tsubaki's hiding something. Something that can't be discussed with us. Well, you're holding up just fine, aren't you?
I told you, I'm fine.
A clueless wonder. I gazed down at the street from the rooftop. Amidst the usual scenery, one can see the true winter slowly creeping in. After school, Tsubaki and I walked side by side down Central Boulevard. Did something happen yesterday? I was going to make use of our time alone.
Pardon?
You can talk to me about it. You know that, right?
About what?
Don't play dumb. You went for Asami's throat first thing this morning. She quickly grew uncomfortable.
Is that so?
Pretending to be absent-minded like that doesn't suit you, Tsubaki. I smirked and stared at her. Don't tell me, you called the police? I said it like it was nothing.
No, I didn't.
Really?
No. I wouldn't even think of doing that with Hiroaki gone.
Then what is it? Tsubaki averted her gaze, trying to escape my question.
Sorry, but there's really nothing wrong.
Ellipses.
Let me ask you something, Asakun.
She changed the subject as something came to her mind.
Do you know anything about Haru-chan?
Know anything? What do you mean?
Anything about Haru-chan and the kidnapper?
Why would Tsubaki be interested in the relation between Usami and Maou all of a sudden? No, nothing at all. All I've heard is that she holds some big grudge against him.
I see.
What about you? Do you know anything?
No, I don't.
Does it interest you? She cast her gaze to the ground. She responded, almost in a whisper.
I tried to treat her as a friend, but I did so even when I knew nothing about her.
Tsubaki's face twisted in anguish.
So today I started thinking, maybe that's something I shouldn't be doing.
Ellipses. What on earth brought on this train of thought? I think that habit of yours is just fine, if you ask me. I mean, that odd little quirk is just part of who she is. Tsubaki cried out.
But she knows the kidnapper, you know? Just how does she know the person who kidnapped my brother?
I'm not sure. Why don't you try asking her?
I did, but she just keeps changing the subject. Oh, wait, maybe my question wasn't precise enough.
Same here. I asked her about her relationship with Maou once before, but she refused to reveal it.
Ellipses.
Ellipses. Silence fell upon us. What? Do you hate Usami all of a sudden?
It's not like I hate her. Trouble in paradise, Usami, you better get them chocolates.
She took a deep breath. You must be tired, Tsubaki. They paid the ransom, and her brother has yet to return. She must be extremely worked up. But the situation won't change, even if you go after Usami.
I did something really mean to Haru-chan.
Ellipses. I held back the urge to click my tongue and asked, Aren't you going home to spend time with your siblings?
Huh? Not today, why?
Oh. Then could you accompany me for a while?
Accompany?
Let's go shopping. Come buy a CD with me. Tsubaki shook her head.
Dad would be really worried. I want to get home as soon as possible.
I can see that.
Sorry, you were trying to help me relax, weren't you?
Ellipses.
Thanks.
I'm only coming over today to talk to your dad about the money. I'll leave immediately thereafter. That was the last bit of conversation we had along the way. The truth is, sir, a loan's a loan. Things will get a bit messy if you can't return it. I started talking to Tsubaki's dad about the land. There's still a week until the deadline, but the money was borrowed without any real means of paying it back in the first place. They're aware of this situation as well, so we'll most likely end up having to seize your land. In the end, we still have to move out. I sympathize with your situation, but I know it's all the kidnapper's fault. We've done nothing wrong, but neither have you or the lender. I'm very sorry. I lowered my head. I apologize, sir. I do feel like I might be meddling a bit too much, but, well, you guys are in a tight spot and all. So I tried to negotiate with my father. As a result, I was able to get a real estate agency to prepare a new home for you. If it pleases you, you can move in there. His eyes went round. That sounds wonderful, but we have a really big family and all. I've already mentioned that. Azar-kun, we couldn't be more grateful. He bowed deeply. If the kidnapper was a devil, then you're an angel. An adult bowing to a kid like me. Still, I felt nothing. For more information, you can talk to the person in charge directly. I took out a card from the real estate agency. It's a subsidiary of Sano Corporation. The same company arranged to buy the land from the lender after it's been seized. Things are going to get pretty tough from this point forward. I would have sold this land if I knew this was going to happen. Well, if you had done that, you wouldn't even had to borrow money. There weren't any other options. The kidnapper demanded 50 million yen in a single day. Even if they sold the land, it would take at least a week to finalize everything. We've lived here for a long, long time. He looked around nostalgically. Still, I'd at least like to stay here until Hiroaki returns. so that means maybe a week. I'm actually a bit relieved. About what? That you folks have come to the terms with moving out. Tsubaki's father cocked his head to the other side and thought for a moment. That came out wrong. I just mean that it would be hard on you if you decided to stay behind on land that had already been seized. To come home one day only to find all your furniture gone, replaced by a lone eviction notice pasted to your door. To have nowhere to go under the cold night sky. I shook the painful memories from my head. Well, it's time for me to leave. I apologize again for not being much help. Leaving already? Hey, Tsubaki! He called to the depths of the house.
Yes, Dad?
I'm going home. 2 kids chased after Tsubaki.
Oh, Nechan, I'm hungry. Alright, I'll start making dinner. Azai-kun, are you leaving? Oh, Nechan, continue the story. Only if you're a good boy.
The kids surrounded Tsubaki.
Azai-kun, I'm really sorry I didn't spend much time with you.
It's fine. I only came here to have a talk with your dad anyway.
Oh, that's mean. Hey, Oni-chan, will you come play house with us?
If there's one thing to say about the Miwa kids, it's that they certainly are outgoing. I wouldn't be surprised if Hiroaki went with the kidnapper out of his own free will.
Well...
By the way, where's your mom? I couldn't get it off my mind, so I stopped and asked before I left.
Oh, she's not feeling well.
Is she sleeping? Tsubaki nodded. Give her my best wishes. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sure. See you later.
Shouts of, "Bye-bye, boyfriend," followed from the kids, just like chirping birds.
Okay, shall we eat?
The house echoed with laughter as I left.
What?
Oh?
What are you doing, embracing someone so suddenly like that? You bumped into each other.
I wasn't embracing you. What are you doing here?
Didn't I say I'd be coming to Tsubaki's house too? Huh?
Oh, right. I thought you were kidding.
As I was saying, you really don't give a crap about me, do you?
Her eyes were crystal clear. You called this coming to Tsubaki's house? What time do you think it is?
Hey, I told her I'd be late.
Why are you so late anyway? Work?
No, I'm quitting work for a while.
Huh? Why?
There are too many things to investigate.
Investigate? Don't tell me you're still on that.
Yep.
She said it as though it was the most obvious thing in the world. Just leave it to the police.
They didn't call the police yet.
Even so, why would you go to all the trouble of doing it yourself?
I feel like I owe it to myself.
Well, she did talk real big about catching the kidnapper, but then end up not accomplishing a single thing after all. So, what are you trying to find this time?
News about Hiroaki-kun.
And? Did you manage to find anything?
Nope.
Don't say it so confidently.
Sorry.
This girl is hopeless.
I can almost pinpoint the location where Hiroaki-kun was kidnapped.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows it happened somewhere between the kindergarten and his house.
Indeed, it must have. I've been walking back and forth on the trail all day, asking passerby a few questions from time to time.
In other words, you were looking for a witness?
Yep.
Did you find one?
Not even one. I asked a lot of people, but nobody had seen a white sedan.
A white sedan?
Right, the car that stopped in the Southern District's residential area a few days ago. Tsubaki was told to wait in it.
Did you see it happen?
Yes. I asked Tsubaki afterwards. She said Maou had planned to drive her around.
That's not the point. Do you remember the license plate number?
Sure, of course I do.
Then we can check who owns the car.
Through the Department of Transportation?
No, there's a website that can give you more detailed information than the Department of Transportation. They can even sniff out light vehicles and motorcycles.
But Maou surely must have known the car could leave a trail.
Well, if he used a stolen car, Lord knows what information you'd get out of the license plate number.
Right. That's why I didn't pick up that lead.
She hung her head and closed her eyes. Usami always looked a little gloomy, so it's hard to say whether or not she's depressed. Say, did you ever figure out how the kidnapper took the ransom?
Oopsies.
What? Cat got your tongue? Usami frowned.
Sometimes I wonder what good it would do if I found out. It all just feels so pointless.
Come again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to take things out on you like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
As I just said, the ransom has already been taken. I'm no detective. Finding out how the kidnapper accomplished it wouldn't help a bit.
Well, aren't you at least curious?
At the moment, I just want to focus my efforts on finding Tsubaki's brother.
Usami can be pretty stubborn when she wants to be. Guess this means she still doesn't know how the kidnapper did it. I thought she was smart, but in the end, she's just a strange girl.
Azai-san, do you think you could lend me a hand?
What are you talking about?
Naturally, I'm asking you to help me find Hiroaki-kun.
For a moment, I didn't know how to reply. Sure. It's for Tsubaki, so I guess I could spare some time. If Hiroaki doesn't come back, Tsubaki's family will most definitely call the police. An investigation would prompt Sano Corporation to put unimaginable pressure on the Azai Corporation. We need to find Hiroaki, even if it means making use of my company resources. I don't know if I'll be of any use, so don't expect anything.
What are you talking about? Aren't you the prince of that Azai Corporation?
She brought up the subject smoothly. She caught me so off guard I almost didn't catch it. What did you just say? Usami ignored my question.
Azai Ganzo is your father, isn't he?
Ellipses. Should I answer or not? My silence was my answer. How did you know? Usami suddenly started acting flustered.
Well, I like you, so I want to know everything about you, Azai-san.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
That's disgusting, alright? Stop giving me goosebumps.
Goosebumps, eh? Thank you.
It was so gross that I couldn't help but frown.
I just asked the teachers a little bit about you. Was it really that creepy?
You've got a lot of nerve to go on acting like that in front of someone you just did a background check on.
I didn't mean it to be a background check or anything. Was it really supposed to be that big of a secret?
Now that she mentions it, that information really wasn't enough to get all worked up about. What I really didn't want people to know was my position on the Azai Corporation. Don't tell anyone.
I wasn't planning to, but why shouldn't I?
Because I hate standing out. I always have. The most suitable place for me is hidden in the dark, silently observing.
Alright, sorry.
Usami stared at me.
Also, I really appreciate your help.
But you're such a weirdo.
Really?
You're under the impression that Hiroaki is no longer on this world, aren't you?
In my opinion, the chances are high, yes.
If so, why even bother looking for him?
I only said the chances are high, not absolute. We're talking about a life here. We have to gamble on it as long as it's not absolutely certain.
Gamble, eh? I was a little impressed. And here I thought you were a person who functions solely on logic.
Really?
Well, whatever. Anyway, I'm going home.
Wait. Do you want to exchange phone numbers?
Exchange? You have a cell phone now?
Yeah. I finally bought a plan. It's only a 1 yen cell, though. I feel ya.
Finally noticed the inconvenience, eh? I put her number in my phone as I told her mine. Hey, he's got her number now.
Hey, they have a discount for couples. If 2 people register together, they save a lot of money.
Please, God. Not again. You disgusting woman. Well, yeah, that's true.
Would you please register with me?
Huh?
Don't take it the wrong way. It's only because I don't have any male friends, and I'm short on money, which means the only thing I can do is count on Azai-san to help me out here, yep.
I bet Tsubaki would.
Yeah, I bet she would in a heartbeat, blushing all the while.
I get it already. Jesus, you're gross.
Sorry. I promise I won't call you too often.
Please don't call me for anything stupid. I beg of you. See ya.
Yeah. I think we're gonna ask Tsubaki and her father a few questions in the meantime.
I left the Miwa household. Ellipses. Ellipses. What? Usami?
Oh, it works.
Huh?
Look, I never owned a cell phone before. Feels like my heart's been racing ever since I first held my very own cell.
What?
Oh, I didn't need anything. Just thought I'd call to let you know how nervous I was, waiting with bated breath to see whether or not my call would get through.
This girl is so annoying. Ellipses. Ellipses.
She lied again. The feeling that she was betraying her family and friends was positively suffocating. You really return my brother if I do so? Kidnapper, Maou, had given Tsubaki a single order last night. I did as you told me. I recited the words from yesterday to Haru-chan. In other words, she questioned the relationship between Haru and Maou, and the reason behind Haru's refusal to deliver the ransom.
What did you think about it?
Maou suddenly asked. Well... Tsubaki went speechless. I didn't like it. Maou stirred a bit behind Tsubaki.
Did Usami give you a satisfying answer?
Satisfying?
Or did she dodge the question?
Tsubaki thought back to the conversation at school this morning. Haru-chan must have refused to give you the ransom for a reason. I can understand that.
And what about her connection to me?
Tsubaki's attention dropped to the hands on her knees. I think everyone must have 1 or 2 secrets of their own.
An outstanding answer.
Maou teased Tsubaki.
Well, aren't you afraid of Usami?
Afraid?
Why would she know a ferocious outlaw like me?
A gulp escaped her throat. She knew he had hit the mark. That was a suspicion that had been bugging her since dusk. Yet fear was not the thing she felt. Haru was exhausted from trying to help Tsubaki. Though the ransom was still taken in the end, she still clearly felt Haru's effort. There was no reason behind it. Tsubaki trusted Haru by instinct.
Tsubaki, not suspecting people is the same as taking them lightly. If you have any interest in a person, naturally you are going to suspect him. If you don't suspect him, it only means you're trying to escape the complications of human relations.
Trepidation grew inside Tsubaki. How could this man behind her say such piercing things? Things capable of penetrating her very soul.
Do you know what others call people like you? The ones who seem to be kind, but actually are just not thinking about anything?
Hypocrites? Mao's tone deepened again.
Children.
Mao continued with a cold voice.
Because parents are parents. Children believe in them. The same goes for you. Because friends are friends, you also believe in them.
Speechlessness. Discomfort. An alarm rang in her mind, warning her that she could not continue listening to this madman's soft whispers. Please stop. I've already done what I was told. Now please return my brother to me. She gave her all to change the course of the conversation. If you won't return him no matter what, I swear I'll call the police. When she thought of Hiroaki, the forthcoming anger pushed away her confusion.
I'd like to ask you to refrain from that.
Huh?
Listen, Tsubaki. I have my own reasons. Do you think I would kidnap a 5-year-old kid just for fun? Honestly, yes, I would.
Well, I don't know if he'd do it for fun, because there's no profit if he just does it for fun. Honestly. But doing it for profit? Yeah, I think he'll do it for profit. That's... Tsubaki shook her head. For a moment, she had sympathy for the kidnapper. She gathered up her courage and answered Maou. I think, no matter your reasons, there are some things you should never do.
Wonderful. I'm deeply touched.
Then, will you stop taking such actions?
Stop?
I won't call the police as long as you return Hiroaki to me. That's been my plan all along. She flung out those words, but it was not what she was thinking. Though she really didn't plan on calling the police, she still held hopes that Haru would catch the kidnapper. Come to think of it, she really was non-committal. As if he'd already known her thoughts, Maou said,
There are some things one should never do. Occasionally, though, something comes up that must be done regardless. That's what I think.
Please, that's enough of this.
Enough indeed. What about your brother?
There was an urge in her right now to ignore the consequences and turn around. Hiroaki? Is he alright?
Usami really wants to insist he's dead, but he's alive, safe and sound. He may be locked up, but every day food and drinks are provided, and his room is kept warm.
This one sentence eased the tension on Tsubaki's mind. She sighed in relief, forming a white haze in the cold air.
I like kids. I gave him a little toy yesterday during some free time. Your brother was excited. Such a playful boy.
I see. She held back tears. Hope flooded her heart, and she felt refreshed now that her predominant concern had been sorted out.
Do you want me to return him?
She wanted to answer, but she could not choke out a voice. I want to see him.
Then, can I trust you to obey my orders?
Devil sneered. His voice carried with it a tempting invitation. An invitation that was impossible to refuse. Tsubaki tasted a strange, perverted sense that he was directing her to the borders of hell. However, that awkward feeling only lasted for but a moment. The thick clouds covered the approaching November night sky, introducing an endless darkness.
Ellipses. Megalipses. I woke up in the morning, had a cup of milk, and read the papers. Police initiate a thorough investigation into the Gyuga Saki school. I understand the moment I saw the headlines. Someone was suspected of accepting bribes. Apparently there were some under-the-table deals between the school's director and the contractors working on the school expansion project. So that's why the stocks are going to plummet. Shiratori. That girl's family may be facing a crisis. Oh well, It has nothing to do with me.
Of course not.